everybody, and welcome back to another episode of The Points of Articulation. My name's Dave, and if you're new to the channel, welcome everybody. Thank you for joining me. Today's a very special review. Not only is it the first video of 2021, but we're taking a look at the Star Wars Titanium series Nebulon-B Escort Frigate, released in 2009. I am a massive fan of the Titanium series diecast line of starships. It's what I started my channel on, and throughout my over a decade of collecting these, I really wanted to get all of them. Now, many people out there do collect these and know that there's a good probably 8 or 9 of them that are very, very expensive, hard to get, and this video would not even happen if it wasn't for people like you watching right now who are generous and have helped me out throughout the way. And right now, in the comments below, I want everybody to comment, "Thank you, Mr. Cruz, for being very generous with this particular model." Many people, they know what these are worth. They know how rare they are. But I was able to make a deal with this gentleman, and here we have the product of that deal in front of us. And I just want to say from the bottom of my heart, thank you, Cruz. It means a lot. I will treasure this, even though I'm going to open it to review it. And it will be a beacon in my collection, as many of these ships are. So thank you very much. Everyone in the comments, please write "Thank you, Cruz." It would mean a lot to me, and I know it would mean a lot to him as well. Now, on this channel, we looked at some holy grails of this collection before, such as the Mon Calamari Cruiser, the Imperial Attack Cruiser, the Invisible Hand, and also other ships like the Starkiller Vessel. So I'm very happy to finally have this in my collection, and I'm equally as happy to share it with all of you at home. So normally I have a ship on a stand and I just review it, but for today we're going to take a quick look at the box, because I know many people have never seen it before, and then we're going to take a look at the bio in the back, and then we'll go into the normal review. So sit back and enjoy. So grabbing it real quick, let's bring it in, and oh boy, look at this. We'll start with the front, Titanium series diecast. The name, Nebulon-B Escort Frigate. Diecast metal includes display stand, Hasbro. And I love the design here. Looks very similar to the paint we see on the Nebulon-B. Very cool. On the top we have Star Wars with a black sticker. Interesting. Ages 4 and up. Turning it to the back, we can see all the copyright crap down here. Galoob, Hasbro, Micro Machines. God, I miss Galoob. That was a great company back in the day. Then we have this nice write-up. So let me get a nice close-up of this, and then I'll read it to you guys. Alright, let's read the back here. The Nebulon-B Escort Frigate. Manufactured at the Kuwait Drive Yards. Role, capital ship. Secondary role, search and rescue and communications relay. Length, 300 meters. Weapons, laser cannons, turbo lasers, and tractor beams. And affiliation, Rebel Alliance. Now, to be honest, I do believe these were Imperial ships before the Rebellion got them, but, whatever, maybe I'm wrong. So let's read the paragraph. Originally constructed to protect Imperial convoys from the lightning raids launched by Rebel snub fighters, the Nebulon-B Escort Frigate soon became common on both sides of the conflict. Well, I guess I was right. Imperial defections and a series of important victories brought several of these powerful capital ships into the Rebel fleet. In Rebel hands, the Nebulon-B served many roles, from hospital ship to planetary assault. Wow, pretty cool. So a cool little write-up there, some cool information. Turning it around, we can see the ship in the blister here, and it looks great. So you know what? I'm going to stop blabbering. Let's get this baby open and see what this ship is all about. Finally, here we have the Nebulon-B Escort Frigate out of the box. This ship was first seen in Star Wars Episode 5, The Empire Strikes Back, and throughout its use in all the different types of media, it had many different names. We had the Rebel Cruiser, the Nebulon-B Frigate, the Escort Frigate, and of course my personal favorite, the Medical Frigate. It's what they called it in Return of the Jedi, and what we saw it do in the end of The Empire Strikes Back. I really enjoy this ship. mainly because of how it looks. You know, it has this really unique structure to it with the engines in the aft, and then all the important stuff in the forward section. And then we have this nice rod connecting the two parts of the body. It just resonates with me with that tomahawk type body shape. And what's cool is it's not even symmetrical. If you cut it in half, you have different bits on different sides here. Like right here, we have the primary communications array. And then over on this side, it's all built a little different than this one, but it's the shield generator. So it's really cool. I like what they did here. Now, for this particular miniature, for the size, it's almost 4.5 inches long, which, if you're a fan of titaniums, you know that is a massive ship. Usually these are around 3 to 3.5. So to be almost a whole inch bigger, it counts. We have a lot to cover today. If you're new to my channel, what I like to do is go over all the main points of the ship, zoom in and show everybody all the fine details, talk about the paint, put it on a stand, compare it to some other ships, and then we'll be done. So let's get right to it. All right. Let's kick this review off looking at the mold. Now, I understand Star Wars lore changes from time to time with comics and books and whatnot. However, all the books I have for ship descriptions and whatnot is pretty current. But if I do get something maybe a little wrong or I miss something, please let me know in the comments below. I like to learn just as much as many of you do. So let's go over all the major points on this vessel. Starting with the Tomahawk section, we have our main laser cannons. This section right here is the main sensors, which is awesome. Down here, also, we have water filtration systems and tanks. We have our main bridge right here where the green is. So that's pretty awesome. Moving on up, we have our main body, which has tons of panel lines and modules. Copyright crap on the bottom. But you guys get the point. Very nicely done. Very detailed. More copyright crap on this side. So excellent. This rubbery antenna, which has multiple antennas molded into one, is the primary communications array. And this section back here, which I guess the top should be painted the same color as this, is the secondary communications array. Moving down to the bottom, you guys should know this window from the end of The Empire Strikes Back. This is the medical room, also known as the surgical suite. And that's also on this side as well. So pretty cool. In the center section, we have our bridge connecting the drive section to the forward. You can see there's some details there. Looking good. Very nice. And this was a nice touch. This is the peg port for the stand. However, if you watch the movies, this is where the Millennium Falcon can dock. So I guess we could use our imaginations and say this is the docking port as well. So nice touch. For one of my favorite sections, we have the drive section now. And you can see it has tons of details, and we're going to get a close-up look in just a few. But in the back, we have our main engine section. Look at that. All the engines are out, but the insides are recessed in, and they look great. Some beautiful detailing. Excellent. In the top here, this little pylon sticking out. This is the main deflector shield generator, which looks awesome. In the bottom, we have our reactor port. And then we have these two fins, which looks pretty cool. You know, they're little triangles. And that's a discharge vanes, I guess, to get rid of excess heat or energy. So really awesome. Also on the bottom, we have two screws to hold it together. All in all, some nice parts to this vessel. So you know what's next. Let's get a closer look. Alright, having a closer look, I got as close as I could to show everybody at home the beautiful amounts of detail. Look at the bottom here, all the little recesses, the panel lines, the molded sections. This is amazing. Now, this is right out of the box, so if there's any paint missing or something like that, that's just how it is. And this is amazing. I love the front. Holy moly, we got some antenna on the bottom. All these windows looking great. Looking at the other side real quick. You can see a little glue up here. But what are you going to do? From a distance, it still looks amazing. I love all the molded sections, all these little recesses here and there. Great stuff. Excellent. Looking at the front of the vessel, you can see how it's actually two halves joined together, and it looks great. I really think they did an amazing job here. Beautiful stuff. And for the aft, you can see again the seam line. Looking good. Sorry about the shadows, but just a really unique ship to hold. So now looking at the main body, let's start with the bottom section. We have our copyright craft right here. Some nice line work, and then we have our armor plating, which looks pretty cool. We can see the nice little modules poking out, the line work, little recesses. Excellent stuff. And right here we have our medical room window, looking dope. And then at the top, again, some beautiful detailing in the aft right here. Coming in, we have that heavy wash on there. Again, you can see some recesses, some modules popping out, line work. Just a fantastic sum of different parts here. Beautiful. I love these little bumps here and how the armor actually sort of has this like weird molded section here. Pretty cool. And you can see some nice molding in the front. The paint sort of rounds it all out, but I like it. I think it looks pretty cool. Getting some light molding on the side. More line work and modules. Coming to the back. Love this section here. Looking good. And on the bottom, again, we have our line work, modules, medical room window. You can see how it flattens out on the bottom. Nice. Now this section right here is our secondary comms area. Looking good. Looks very much like a submarine. Nice molding. Pretty cool. Nice. And this is our primary communications array. You can see it's about 5 different antennas molded together. It is a rubbery material, but it looks pretty good. Let's see it from the other side. You can see the different antenna there. Looking amazing. All right, moving on. Let's look at the bridge area, as I like to call it. We'll start with the top. You can see some beautiful molding here. Looking great. Going towards the drive section. You see some great molding there as well. Some recesses on the side. Looking good. Coming down this side, beautiful molding on here. You can see how the wash was put on so heavy that there's like little bubbles or stains. I don't know, it sort of makes it unique. I'm not going to knock it. You can see some nice recesses coming down the side here. Looking good. And then look at all that. Fantastic stuff right there. Lots of like little shelves in there and everything. Beautiful. Looking at this side. Again, same. Some recesses. Looking amazing. I love the detail here. Beautiful stuff. Looking at the underneath, we have our peg port for the stand, and mostly it's flat. We have a couple different layers down there, but, you know, not much going on. But this drive section, or I should say this piece right here, connecting the two, look at the detail there. This is just like a, I would say a old battleship or destroyer that has all these different metal layers or decks. Pretty nice. On the bottom, we have some nice rounded pieces. Looking good. And it goes for the same for the top, which connects it right to the engine section. Now looking at this section right at the top, we have several different modules. Nothing's the same on each side, but the amount of detail looks amazing. I love this section right here. with the little lines because of the little round sections there. Two little towers here. But what really catches my eye is this piece right here that's on a pylon. This is the main deflector shield generator. And you can see how it's really obtuse looking, but it's kind of cool at the same time. We have some recesses in the front, which are painted gray for, I guess, windows. But pretty cool nonetheless. Very nice. Now looking at these sides, we have a seam line right here because these are two pieces of metal. But look at all the detail. Now the paint sort of makes it look chaotic, but really it's just a ton of different panels, recesses, and little pieces like here that's like a grate. And I love it. I really do. We have two screws holding this together, by the way. But really nicely done. Look at all the angles. Show it from this direction. Looking amazing. Same for this side. Fantastic. And at this angle, we can see the interior here. Let me see if I could get it. There we go. And let me see. Very hard ship to film. We'll say that. Here we go. You can see the interior here. Looks amazing. Lots of little doodads. Fantastic. Really looking good. This came out great. You can see those windows a little better right now. Looking good on the bottom. Two little recesses, two little blue marks. And then we have our discharge vanes, which are, I wouldn't say they're rubber, but they move a little bit. I'm not going to force them because I ain't breaking this for nothing. But you can see some beautiful detailing coming around the sides. Some molding right here on the edge. Looking very nice. And you can see the beautiful angle back here. Sort of like a triangle. That is amazing stuff. And finally, we have our engine section, which I love this. We can see the tons of little molded sections inside. And then we have our engines. 7 engines. Molded great around the thrusters right there. You can see how the outsides have that beautiful shape. Very nicely done. Let's see it from this side. Excellent stuff. Nice dark gray. And then on the interiors, they are recessed and colored 2 different colors, which gives it the illusion of engine glow, which is very nice. All in all, a fantastically detailed piece, and I'm very happy to have this in my collection. And that's everything I have to say about the Nebulon-B's mold. In short, it's a very unique ship, very hard to film because of its odd shape, but I love it. As we saw zoomed in, it had some beautiful panel lines and excellent molding. So now let's take a look at the paint. And now looking at that paint on the Nebulon-B Escort Frigate, this baby has about 9 different colors, and the paint is wild, to say the least. You can see just in this section here, all these different colors. Wow. So let's get started with the main color, which is a nice gray. And you can see it all underneath here, the main body. This little section right there, looking good. Fantastic stuff. You can see it in the aft, the bottom, just all over. It's the main color of the ship. Now, normally I talk about washes last, but the wash on here is very prominent, so we're going to talk about it. It's the second color on here, which is sort of like a brownish gray. And you can see it's very heavy on the top, sometimes a little heavier than other places, but it's all over the front of the vessel, the center section, and the aft. And you can see how it covers mostly everything. Details, components, modules, everything. It's a little messy, if you ask me, but it works. You know, the cool thing about the Rebels is all their ships were used and beat up, and it gave it a sense of realism, and it works with this. You can see on the bottom, it's all a little dirty there. On the aft section, looking good. And on this side, you can see how the wash just fills in everything, even in the front here. Just nuts. And then in the back, there's hardly anything. So kind of weird. On the bottom, it's everywhere. And right here, you have some on the bottom. But for the most part, it's not really here. Yeah, there is the wash and the panel lines here. But for the most part, it's not heavy at all. See in the aft here and the sides. Just really cool. So moving on from there, we do have some dark gray, and that's used for different components. The window sections, some pieces right here, and on this side, the other window right there, and then this antenna, which is pretty cool because as we saw, it starts up here and it comes down here. So nice touch. Regardless, some pretty cool colors so far. Moving on from there, we do have maroon, and that's used for these nice stripes on both sides, and also on the secondary antennas. There's some paint there. It's a little hard to see, but it's there, and it's a nice touch. Moving on from there, we do have a type of olive green, like a green mixed with gray, and that's right here in the front. Turning it around. Moving on from there, we do have a light brown, almost a dark tan, if you will. And that's used for these two sections here. And some little doodads coming down here. So very nice. Turning it this way. See some of that tan. Looking good. Moving on from there, we do have dark blue, which really stands out here. We have some right down here. And then we have some on this side as well. Coming down the neck section to the aft. Looking really awesome. I think that looks great. Same for this side. And that's basically that for the blue. Moving on, we do also have sky blue, which is located right in the front here, as well as this side. And then in the aft, we have sky blue mixed with some white. And it gives it that cool engine effect. So very nice, and that's basically all the colors on here. Pretty sweet. So that does it for the mold as well as the paint. So now let's put this baby back on a stand, compare it to some other pieces, and then we'll be done. And just like all titanium ships, it comes with this cool stand, peg it in a port like so. And just like that, everybody, you are good to go. So for a quick size comparison with the Nebulon-B Frigate, we have some other titanium ships here. Now, I know most of us have the Imperial AT-AT Walker, so that's on the left-hand side. And then finally, on the right-hand side, we have the more rare GR-75 Rebel Transport. And you can see how the sizes all measure up there. Regardless, these are some great-looking ships, all from the Empire Strikes Back. And that does it today for my review of the Star Wars Titanium Series Nebulon-B Escort Frigate, released in 2009. Things couldn't be better for me. It really couldn't. I love the channel. I love all of you. And to have this ship in my collection, it's a cherry on top of the sundae, you know, if you want to put a picture to that. But enough of me yapping. I'm just so happy right now. And I really hope this video did justice to the ship. I tried to get all the angles and show what this ship really had to offer. And again, Mr. Cruise, thank you so much. And next time, we're reviewing the other ship I got from Cruise, the Outrider. So, oh man, I love Empire Strikes Back, and I love the Shadows of the Empire, and oh, I'm just jumping the gun, so let me get back to this ship. Oh, I'm so happy. Got goosebumps. Oh, what are you gonna do? But for the mold, it's great! You know, we have all the modules, the line work, the paneling, everything's there that should be, and the fact that they turned the docking port into a stand port, nice touch. We do have some bendable plastic or rubber on here, such as the discharge vanes or the communications array. Even the deflector shield generator module is a little softer than normal plastic or metal, but it all works together, and I think it came out pretty well. For the paint, I love what they did here with the grays and the tans, the greens, the blues. Everything works together. Now, one thing I know some of us will be divided on is the wash. Now, when I was zoomed in and we saw the dried bubbles and everything, I will admit, I didn't like it. I thought it was sloppy, but when you're not zoomed in and you're about 2 feet away as I am right now, it looks amazing. From a distance, it looks perfect. It really does, because what are the Rebel Alliance ships? They're used, they're hand-me-downs, they're stolen, or they're taken from yards that, they're going to be decommissioned. So it fits with the aesthetic of the original Star Wars universe, which is everything is lived in, everything is used, and it has that filth on everything. This world was built on making us think that, this stuff is old, it's been used, the world is lived in. And this ship works with that aesthetic. It really does. And from a distance, it looks great. I'm not going to lie. Now, also, being a Titanium Series ship, it does come with a nice stand to hold it up, and I think it looks great. All these stands working together unify the collection, and I'm a massive fan of that. And that's basically everything I have to say about the Nebulon-B today. If you enjoyed this video, smash that like button, show me some love, and if you'd like to see new videos every week, subscribe. From the bottom of my heart, thank you, everyone, for taking time out of your busy schedule to watch my content, and I hope to see you next time. Bye, everybody.